All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Ketzia Abramson, and I want to thank you all for tuning in today to my Scholars Forum presentation. This presentation is for my capstone project that fulfills the requirements of my Master's in Leadership Development with an emphasis in higher education program here at Chapman University. Normally, this presentation is done in person amongst peer, friends, family, and educators. Today, I'm coming to you from Instagram Live, as presenting in person is no longer an option amid the limitations in place due to COVID-19. Am I disappointed? Yes. There have been so many changes to our day-to-day lives, and I've spent the last 2 years envisioning this moment, but one of the greatest pieces of advice I've ever received is, it is what it is, do what you gotta do, play better. So I intend to do just that. For the next 10 minutes or so, I will be speaking to you more about my process, my work, and my experience with the MLD program. The title of my capstone project is Undergraduate Health and Wellness at Chapman University. Essentially, for the past 9 months, I've been exploring and envisioning what it would look like for Chapman University's Fitness and Recreation Department to have a fully fledged, operational, and sustainable personal training and accreditation program. To better understand the need for such a program and to justify my own rationale for wanting to work on such a project, I'm going to take you through some of my own observations I've made over the last 6 years I've attended Chapman as both an undergraduate and graduate student. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with fitness and recreation, it's a department that is housed underneath the larger Student Affairs Department. Student Affairs, sometimes referred to as Student Support or Student Services, is a department dedicated to enhancing student growth and development. I personally am pursuing a career in Student Affairs, which is actually one of the reasons I enrolled in the MLD program to begin with, specifically for the higher education emphasis with my degree. There are 2 parts to my project. The first section is dedicated to creating a self-sustaining employment system where students are able to take a course in order to either earn their personal training or group fitness instructor accreditation. One of the services that the Fitness and Recreation Department offers is group fitness classes. While this year saw a substantial increase in classes offered, previously the classes and times would change semester to semester due to the lack of consistency with instructors and their changing availabilities to teach. For example, let's say that yoga is being taught by Susie every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. for the fall semester. This class and its time is chosen by Susie based off of her student's schedule. In the following spring semester, yoga is now being offered at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays because Susie's class schedule changed. Now, in the next school year in the fall, yoga is not being offered at all because Susie graduated and there are no other students who are either certified to teach or have the time, availability, or desire to do so. In full transparency, this isn't an issue that needs immediate attention, but when we look at how this department can grow and improve, this is the next step that justifies expansion. The Fitness and Rec Department is known for listening to student feedback, and with the research and funding, a new fitness facility, the Henley Fitness Center, was built last year that better catered to the growing needs and desires of students. Fitness and Rec is now offering more classes than ever before, and there are even entire studio spaces dedicated to both individual and group fitness. I'm proposing that one of the best ways to make sure that there are always certified instructors to teach classes is for the department to create and train them themselves. By having a course available for students to take and earn their accreditation, the department ensures the next generation of instructors while also offering a competitive program to better develop student leaders and serve as a resource for students wanting to pursue a professional career in fitness. The second section of my project is dedicated to having a personal fitness program for students. This would include an onboarding process where students can sit down one-on-one with an accredited personal trainer to create an individual plan to achieve their health and fitness goals. They can work with trainers in any of the Chapman fitness facilities and have a better understanding of how they can take care of themselves as they adjust to life away from home. For me personally, health, fitness, and wellness have always been important. But in the past year, my life took a significant shift when I made a conscious decision to commit to a healthier lifestyle. I initially started this journey on my own, working with the pre-existing knowledge I had, but soon realized that in order to make a significant change and reach goals that for years had always seemed impossible, I was going to need help. While I'm eternally grateful for the support I received from friends, coaches, and personal trainers, it was important for me to recognize my own privilege in having access to all of these different resources. For anyone who has ever looked down on themselves because they don't feel or look like the celebrities they see on TV, it's so important to remember the time and especially the finances that go into having that perfect, healthy lifestyle. Even without extra support, it can often be daunting to make any change when the only person rooting you on is your own self-motivation. So I want this to be something that anyone and everyone can do regardless of their background or experience. I want to be able to create a program that can allow students to feel empowered, strengthened, and dedicated to their own health, and then also be able to take that next step and help others with what they've learned themselves. The next step on this project was working and collaborating with professional staff in the fitness and rec department. I knew that if I wanted my proposal to be strong enough that it could be taken and used as an official document, that I needed research to justify the spending that would be needed to launch this kind of program. Personal training programs for students at the college level is actually something that's become more popular in American higher education. If you take the time to really think about it, it seems that having some sort of program to teach students healthy habits, proper nutrition, and the benefits of physical fitness is so much more crucial now for students as young adults, learning to live on their own in a new and unfamiliar environment, going through a major life change than when they were teenagers forced to run a mile in high school. Part of my research proves that there are trends that show that not only having a program like this is something that students want, but it also can be crucial in terms of students being able to better handle mental health issues that arise at the college level, including high levels of stress, increased anxiety, and even depression. Other aspects of my research cover the importance of re-educating students on the different myths about health and physical fitness that they were always taught to blindly accept. For me personally, being able to fully understand the limitations and faults with reading my own BMI and a number on a scale changed a lot of my own sense of self-worth and body positivity. I know that this sounds a little bit like a late night fitness DVD commercial, but the ability to understand your own health and to even set and reach personal goals, especially at the college age, is an invaluable skill. In the end, the final deliverable that I'm submitting to the Fitness and Rec Department is a collection of my research as well as a full business proposal, which includes my program's objectives, mission statements, goals, sustainable advantages, core competencies, SWOT analysis, budget analysis, and student intake forms. My capstone process also encompasses about another 25-page-ish document where I outline my project, reflect on my process, and now analyze myself as a leader, and give my final thoughts about my capstone journey as a whole and my time with my Master's in Leadership Development program. It's definitely been a little surreal for me to think about all the work, because prior to planning this presentation, I don't think I fully encompassed how much I've done for this project. I go back and forth a lot when it comes to imposter syndrome, and with all of the changes that have been brought on by COVID-19, I think I have been greatly battling with my diminishing work ethic and motivation, and it's been so hard to finish something and take pride in something when it feels like a shadow of what I've been able to produce in my work as both an undergraduate and a graduate student over the last 6 years. But honestly, I really realized that in the last couple of days, as I get closer and closer to sending in my final submission, that I am so incredibly proud of the work that I've produced, and not just because of the coronavirus, but rather in spite of it. Unprecedented times call for unprecedented measures, and if I've learned anything about myself through this journey, it's that not even a worldwide pandemic can stop me from reaching my goals and getting everything that I want out of this life. And with that, I'd like to finally conclude with taking a moment to thank some people for how they've helped me crawl and fight my way to the finish line with my capstone. I want to say thank you to my thesis professor, Chris Hutchinson, for always being understanding and supportive both pre and post-pandemic. I know I've always given him a hard time with all the changes that we've been making in the past year, but it's taught me that one of life's greatest skills to have is the ability to be adaptable. I'd also like to send a special thanks to my classmates and my accountability buddies, Mo and Anna, who have constantly inspired me and keep me accountable. I can't wait to see how far we'll go after the 6 years we've been together at Chapman. I want to thank all of my wonderful friends who have provided me with endless words of encouragement and love. Tessa, Ellie, Jamie, Alejandra, I'm sure I'm missing people, but I know that I will be reaching out to all of you individually to give you all the praise you deserve for everything you've done for me. I'm also so grateful for everyone who has directly helped with my capstone. My Uncle Kim reading and giving edits, Mike Kaiser for his help and knowledge of the fitness and rec department, Bobby Carey for his help designing my digital poster. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the entire residence life and first year experience office at Chapman and everyone who has worked with me in my role as a residential graduate assistant. I owe so much of my own growth and development as a leader and as a working professional through the opportunities and experience I've had through this office in the last 2 years. It's been a time that I will genuinely cherish and remember always. Lastly, I definitely need to thank the two people who made this whole thing possible, Dr. Ketzia's mom and Dr. Ketzia's dad. Between funding my entire education for the last 19 years and putting up with my daily phone calls for the past 2 months, there simply aren't enough words to express how grateful I am to having you both as parents. Thank you for being willing to grow alongside with me and for always teaching me the value of perseverance, kindness, and learning that sometimes shit happens and you need to move on. Thank you again for being here today to support me as I am now one step closer to earning my master's degree. That concludes the end of my presentation. Thank you all for your time. As I mentioned, I will be ending this live video. Thank you all for tuning in. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me via email or you can DM me on Instagram. Thank you all so much. Have a lovely evening.